Hey folks, it's Vic Noble here with your weekly trade example for the week ending October the 19th of 2012. And for this week's trading example or lesson, whatever, I just have to tell you a story. And I hope this gets you thinking and reflecting on your own trading. And the story, it came from a Coach's Corner member who he brought it to us during the last Coach's Corner session yesterday. I'm recording this on a Friday. It was on Thursday. And I thought it was really a cool story. And this guy's been in the Coach's Corner for just over a month now. And he's starting to really notice some change. Which is great. I mean, that's what we're trying to. That's why we're here. So, and in fact, he sent this trade in last session that he'd taken, and he was really happy about what he'd done. And so he should have been, because based on what he's learned, he did a perfect job of reading what was going on with the. I think it was on this pair here actually, the Euro US dollar, and he made a trade as he recognized the setup, and he took pips out of the market and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, doing this is just huge for your confidence. But the email he sent in, it was in two parts, and the first part was all about the trade, but it was the bottom part that I really found fascinating. So here's the thing. This guy's been involved in sports before, like both in coaching and playing, and he told me a story about an old golf coach of his that really struck a chord with him when it came to trading. And the story was this, that he was having problems with his swing. And so I think it was back in 1997, I believe it was, and he went to see this golf coach. But before that, he had spent something like a year and a half trying to figure out his problems on his own. So he'd adjust his swing and his grip and his stance or whatever it was, and with very limited success. So he went to see the golf pro, and in about 3 lessons, the golf pro had him hitting the ball just the way he wanted to. Imagine that, a year and a half jacking around with your swing, and in 3 short lessons he's seeing some real lasting improvement. But what really struck this guy was something that the golf pro said to him. They're walking past the driving range where all these people were smashing and thrashing balls out onto the range, and this guy told the golf pro that he was going to go and start hitting some balls to, practice up what he just learned. But this is when that golf pro said something to him that was so profound that really stuck with him. He said, go ahead and go to the driving range, but you're not allowed to take your clubs. You can take a book and read. And the pro said to him, most people go to the driving range, get this, to practice their mistakes. Wow, that's quite an observation. And he said that without a coach, they were simply doing what they always did and practicing their mistakes. And I thought that was quite a story, and so absolutely true. And this fellow, in his email to me, said that he himself has been practicing trading mistakes for over 3 years. And then, I have to say too, he gave me a really nice compliment about what he's getting from the Coach's Corner when he said, this, and I'm just quoting his thing here. He said, "This Coach's Corner is simply invaluable. Thanks for beginning the process of fixing my trading swing." Making the analogy with the golf. But, well, I thought that was just a great analogy, and so incredibly, totally true. Think about it. Have you been moving ahead with your trading, or have you simply been practicing your trading mistakes all this time that you've been making for a very long time? Hey, you know what? They're costing you not just money, but lost opportunity by not seeing what you should be watching for that will help you. And the mistakes also cost you in terms of not learning about things like how to manage your risk properly, or manage your trades properly, or recognize the setups and all that kind of stuff. And one of the biggest costs is the psychological toll that it can take on you. It gets pretty tiring when you seem to be constantly getting it wrong. So, I think it just makes sense that if you're not getting the results that you need, in other words, you're continually slipping behind or at least not getting ahead, then you have to change the path that you're on. Right? Maybe it means joining the Coach's Corner and work with me for a while, or maybe I might have something else in mind. That's fine, but find someone who's qualified to help you get turned in the right direction. Okay? And just so you know, in the Coach's Corner, it's not just me that you're getting. We have other very good traders in there who are just so great about helping other people. It's kind of a really nice community, and of course, lots of traders who are there who are just like you might be, maybe looking to get their trading turned around to the positive. And we just focus in on a couple of patterns that set up every day, very high probability patterns, keeps it nice and simple. But because of the format, I will absolutely address anybody's questions, so that because we're all there to help if you need something like this. So there you go. Don't keep practicing your trading mistakes. Okay, if you're having problems and you're not getting ahead, whatever you do, whether it's hooking up with me or somebody else or whatever it is, don't keep practicing the same old trading mistakes and moving your account backwards. That's just absolutely, you might as well stop trading if that's happening. get in touch with me if you want to chat or talk or ask questions or whatever it is. I'm happy to do that. Alrighty, leave it at that. You guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you at the end of next week with another weekly trade example.